few days ago, I made a post on the Review My Shopify subreddit and I asked people to post their store. Today, I'm gonna be talking about a cannabis apparel store. If you don't have a cannabis apparel store, no worries. This will apply to most Shopify stores. I'll be offering tips on how to improve your conversion rates and how to make the best possible online store for e-commerce. Also, I've just created a Facebook group. I'll link it down below. I want you to join it if you're a small business owner looking to improve your store. I want you to ask questions. I want you to ask me to review your store, and maybe I'll make a video out of your store if you join. Okay, let's get started. Here we have the Meatloaf Army who says, I'll bite. I have a cannabis apparel store at magicleaftees.com, but it's not converting as much as I'd like. I've tried various pricing and shipping strategies, but so far I'm not seeing much success. I'm open to any advice. This is what the store looks like. What's our first impression? I'm seeing a lot of clutter, a lot of colors. It's quite messy. Okay, let's talk about this pop-up. I like that you're offering a generous discount. I think that's really important. If you're asking people to give away their email address, you better be offering something in return, and 15% off is a really generous discount. But the problem is that it's not actually fitting into this website very well, which is a shame because it's a great pop-up. This type of font, you see these things hanging off the text? This is called a serif. This on the right is a serif, on the left, no serif. Basically, in 2021, serifs are not very popular. We prefer, if we go to ASOS, serifless font. There's no serifs on ASOS. ASOS is one of the most popular apparel stores. Not a serif to be seen. And I'm not saying serifs can't work. They can if you design them correctly. If you're a very competent graphic designer, you can definitely make it work. But from what I'm seeing on your store, you don't have the design know-how. So what you should be doing is sticking to more generic images, graphic design. You should be looking at this, for example. So we can see here that the colors of the background match up with the colors of the logo on the shirt. And we've got serifless font, and we've got nice visual hierarchy. So hoodies are the biggest word here. Shop now, all new graphics. It creates a nice contrast. Contrast is really important when it comes to graphic design. Let's talk about the very first hero image on Stoner Days because it's pretty similar to your hero image. How's it similar? Well, we've got this box, and then we've got weed leaves, and then we've got weed leaves here. But the difference is the colors are way more themed, and we can see that the shape of the leaves kind of pull you into the stoned summer, which is emboldened and large, and then underneath that is a little 30% off everything. What this does is it leads your eye. So it pulls you into Stone Summer and then you go down to 30% off everything. Now let's compare that with your hero image where we can see basically everything is the exact same size. The fonts are basically the same size. There's not much visual hierarchy when it comes to size. The color scheme is not that congruent. We've got this bright red contrasted with bright green. And then we have this similar box, which draws the eye in. But the key difference here is that outside of the box is just more leaves. Here, we can see outside of the box is kind of empty space, but with this nice, pleasant summer tone. It's a summer tone. How? Because we've got this blue drifting into this magenta, giving you the sense of a sunset. Enough about the hero image. Let's talk a little bit about your logo. So this logo would do quite well in the 80s when this style was relatively new. In 2021, this is very out of date. And again, I'm not saying you can't make this work, but you need to hire a graphic designer to design this because this is not up to scratch. It has a lot of colors. It has a lot of shapes. It has lots of different fonts. And overall, it doesn't hold up to scrutiny if you zoom in. If you zoom into this, it kind of falls apart. You can see it's jaggy over here. You can see the tops of the font is cut off. And that's why a rectangle shape with text in the middle holds up way more to scrutiny because there's just less going on and there's less opportunity for it to artifact. An artifact is basically anything that's pixelized, anything that looks a bit digitally and grainy. When you've got a simple bare bones font, it scales up. And it needs to scale up because you don't know if your customer is scrolling on their iPhone or if they're scrolling on a 57-inch plasma TV connected to their Apple TV doing some shopping on Safari. You just don't know. Okay, so let's talk about this hero image on your competitor's store. It's a very simple image, not many colors. The all new is highlighted in red, which matches the red of this skull's hat. So what this does is that it highlights this premium t-shirt and it makes me think, oh, wait a sec, if that's good, what else do they have? Let's go to your store. So you show 5 different t-shirts with a textured background, which takes focus away from the shirt because there's a lot of distracting imagery. To be honest, I'm not even sure what this image is. Background image doesn't really complement the t-shirts very well. You've got 5 different t-shirts, all of which are a completely different theme. There's no clear cohesive theme here like there was in the other image. There's no hierarchy here. It's not creating a very interesting image. So you need to put a lot of time into the images on your store. You can hire people to do this on websites like Fiverr, but I wouldn't do it yourself, or I wouldn't just get a friend to do it. Your store needs to look professional if you expect people to spend money. Okay, so we start scrolling down your homepage and we start to see these cute little quotes about weed from stoners throughout history. But I've never seen a popular store do this, and that's a red flag to me. If we're a small business and we're not getting the success we need to steal from the best. And if the best aren't doing this, cut it. We need proven effective methods to sell t-shirts, and if this method is unproven, scrap it. Now, if you look at Stoner Days, they also include quotes, but they're reviews from customers. So maybe replace these quotes from history with quotes from your customers. Okay, so another big issue with your store is the way that you're titling your products. These product titles are kind of clumsy. 420 college 420 t-shirt. Does that sound nice to say out loud? Not really. If it doesn't, you probably need to change your title. A better title might be 420 college tee. It's clearer and it's more appealing. UT orange weed leaf t-shirt. It's a mouthful and it's not very pleasant to say. Let's compare this with some of the product titles on your competitor's website. Jason tee. The Rolling Stoned white tee. The Rolling Stoned. Stoned to the bone. We can see that these are way catchier and they spark our interest. I want to know more. If you're dealing with apparel online, you don't have the advantages of a real life store. Customers can't come in and try on your products. They just have to trust that it's going to come how you promised and look as good as you promised. So you really need to use every tool at your disposal, which is product titles, product images, product descriptions to compete with the real life stores. So if you're struggling with conversions, have a look at your product page and see if you're using every tool available. A personal pet peeve of mine is a lack of image variety. So yes, you do have 7 images here, but they're basically the exact same image 7 times. What I would love to see is people in real life wearing your shirts. If you could hire a photographer for a day or something like that, I think that'll massively improve your conversion rate. This description here is a very copy-paste description. Nothing about it references the product you're selling, which is a major flaw of your site. Every product description should talk about the product that you're trying to sell the customer. If you find that you have too many t-shirts and you can't write a product description for them all, get rid of the t-shirts that you're not selling and write compelling descriptions for the t-shirts that are selling. If we scroll down, I have a problem with your footer. So normally footers are a different color to the rest of the site. As we can see here, the top menu is a different color to the rest of the site. Why? Because it makes it stand out. Your footer kind of gets lost a little bit. It took me a while to find. This is a massive issue because you've got really important information here, like shipping policy, refund policy, privacy policy. These are all super duper important stuff. And to be honest, things like shipping policy should probably just be in the menu to begin with. This stuff needs to stand out. And then another thing I want to flag with you is when we click this new Revel apparel, it takes us to a not private site, which is a major red flag for anyone just casually browsing your store. It makes you seem super untrustworthy. Okay, so I was browsing your site yesterday and I signed up for your email marketing list because I was hoping to review your welcome email, but you don't have one. Most people expect a welcome email when they sign up for an email list, and you are missing out on an opportunity to introduce your brand to potential customers. I've covered this before in previous videos, but basically when people first sign up for your email list, that is when they're most engaged, and a welcome series is the easiest, best way to convert a visitor into a customer. I'll link a video down below regarding all of this stuff. If you're a small business, you probably don't have a budget for much advertising, if any. So it's absolutely vital that you are at the very least utilizing email marketing, as it has the highest ROI, return on investment. This welcome email should be automated. It should be sent out to every visitor who signs up for your email list. I also signed up for Stoner Days email marketing list, and they didn't send me a welcome series either. So this is an opportunity to one-up them. However, they did send me an abandoned cart email, which you did not do by the looks of it. So they sent me an email saying, oops, you forgot to check out this item. Are you sure you just want to leave it alone? It's selling out or something. Okay, and then a day later, they sent me another email saying, something you like is almost sold out. Your shopping cart is waiting for return. This is an excellent tactic to recover abandoned carts. You need to set this up on your site. May I recommend SmarterMail? It's an app for Shopify. I'll link it down below. Let's talk about your menu. There's a few things I don't love about it. First of all, that you've got women and then you've got unisex. I reckon you ought to just have women and men. So I understand the thought process of saying unisex instead of men, because if it's unisex, that means women can click on that as well. And I don't want to go so far as to say that unisex excludes men from your store, but it doesn't appeal to men. If I were you, I would change unisex to men. Women are smart enough to know that they can also buy men's t-shirts. Okay, so website menus, especially for apparel stores, is something that every brand has to deal with. Everyone does it differently. So let's look at how Stoner Days have done it. Men, women's, headwear, extras, hemp collections, new gators, new sale. Shop by theme, I'd probably change this to collections, just because it's more professional. Or maybe you could remove and stuff and make a brand new category called extras and put home decor and stuff into that. And you've got gift cards, which again, if you're going to have an extras, I would just put it under extras. While we're talking about your menu, I want to talk about this header up here. I think this is great. Free shipping on orders over $35, which is beating Stoner Days, so well done. Okay, so you have an about the shop down here, but I think you should turn it into its own page and have a menu up here for it. Why? Because this is a really great way to build trust with your audience. Tell them who you are, why you like Weed Apparel, why this store is important to you, because it's about building trust. You know, these people have to trust that you're going to sell them a good product. Now, I want to talk a little bit about your audience, because one thing I actually do really like about this store is that you are targeting them hard. You are targeting stoners. This is a store for stoners. And I even like your logo here, make friends wherever you go, implying that when you wear your shirts, you can start a conversation with a stoner. All in all, I also wanted to comment on this idea of, you know, having fun, like having a fun store. I feel like sometimes, and I've made this mistake as well, is that you're trying to make a store fun and interesting and not like the other stores and less generic and less bland. But you run the risk of appealing untrustworthy, unreliable. Just because stoners like to have fun doesn't mean they like to give away money. So I really want you to invest in your website more, make it look more professional, better product images, better titles, better descriptions, because I think your shirts are good. I think your product is very good and they all look professionally designed. So I think your website's letting you down a little bit. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Please join the Facebook group, and if you like this video, like it down below and subscribe if you want more marketing tips and advice.